I've wanted to cut dovetails by hand for a long time. In this video, you see what it takes to buy the cheapest tools and attempt to cut them for the very first time on camera. Although my channel's primarily shop tools, anything to make the workshop easier, I really want to try my hand at dovetails. First step, let's go to the big green shed, a hardware store. I'm looking to get into this craft on the cheapest way possible, so I bought the cheapest vise with the accompanying accoutrements, a bevel gauge, the cheapest set of chisels, which we will talk about later, foreshadowing to a future video, a very cheap dovetail saw, which I'll get into a bit later. Back at the shop, we can sort of take inventory of what we have. I am using some of the tools that I already have in the shop, and I bought a couple extra. I guess right now this Craig jig is looking really enticing. As for the cheapest chisels, I want to see how they compare to a really good chisel. I do have a bunch of Japanese waterstones, so I'll make a video of that in the future. I'm securing the metalworking vise on my workbench, not entirely convinced it's going to be great for dovetails. My doubts were confirmed when I realized the throat clearance is quite small and these gripping edges are going to make mincemeat of my timber. Lucky I'm only using cheap pine. I measured, marked, and cut quite a few pieces, knowing that I'm probably going to make a mistake somewhere. Casually finding the center line, I wasn't too concerned about this being completely symmetrical, as long as it fits. After all, it is my first attempt at hand cutting dovetails. There is certainly a reason why this dovetail saw is only $10. I'm quite used to a Japanese style pull saw. First attempt, we'll see how it goes. Surprisingly, the cheap chisels cut quite well. It'll be interesting to see how long they last, which will be a future video. A scribe may have helped with a better fit, but I won't blame my tools on my craftsmanship. I could not slide these in by hand. I used a hammer, maybe considered cheating, but it did get the job done. And honestly, as butchered as it looked, I am quite happy for my first attempt at dovetails. To fill the gaps, I'm just going to be using glue. If you've seen me before, you know I love my glue. It's fine. You can always clean the excess with your wife's favorite microfiber towel. After the glue had a few hours to set, I used a block plane to clean it up, try and get this as neat as possible. I can honestly say I'm quite proud of my very first dovetail, and it's even harder to film it too. Seeing as this is a test piece, I've heard that you can use coffee to stain timber. I thought I would give it a go. I'm using a double shot here. It definitely reacts a lot different to using oil, obviously because it's water and coffee. However, I'm actually quite surprised with the results of just using coffee to stain timber. However, the smell might get annoying. Well, here is my first real attempt at cutting dovetails. I certainly have a huge amount of appreciation for people that can cut these like a machine would. This is all to do with my flight simulator video. I'm really looking to make a stand for it using dovetail joints. Thanks for watching.